Guys, today we got the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Fragment release causing chaos. Black Hat 4s might get Nike sued. And why is everyone saying Yeezy is back? Welcome to Sneaky Sunday. We got a lot to get through, so not really too much to recap. So we're gonna kind of skip through that. In fact, I did think I was going to be recapping the release of the Jordan 1 Fragments, but they haven't dropped yet. So seeing as these could literally drop at any moment, let's just tackle that and give you guys everything you need to know about this crazy release. So they've loaded up to the Travis Scott website. I think this was maybe 2 days ago on the 7th of November. So all you can see on the website is soon, which is pretty typical for the Travis Scott shoes release where he does it on his website. It's literally a random raffle that is open for 30 minutes. So that's kind of how it goes down, is nobody knows when it's going to go live. It'll do it at a random time. Everybody is talking about it. And then you've got 30 minutes to enter. And then if you do get in within that 30 minutes and you actually enter the raffle, they'll send you an invoice email where you can actually check out on the shoes. Along with the shoes going live, there's also a ton of merch to go along with this. This is actually triple collab stuff. So we've got Nike, we've got Fragment, and obviously Travis Scott himself. So there's some hoodies, there's some waffle long sleeve t-shirts, shorts, jerseys, fleeces, which actually looks pretty cool. Then you've also got some dolls because why not? So the merch you can actually buy now. I think most of it is like shipping within 10 to 12 weeks. Personally, I'm not going for any of this stuff. After I got the Barcelona jersey from this website, I'm good. All right, the quality was terrible. The other release for this pair of shoes is in Tokyo. So here's some pictures of the actual pop-up that's going on right now. So it started on November the 7th. Here's all of the times, and this is what it looks like, which is actually really, really cool. So they've got like a bunch of different things from Fragment, from Travis Scott. He is obviously there performing, so that's a big deal. This is all of the clothing that you could have bought, and I don't believe on both the 7th and the 8th you weren't actually able to buy the shoes. So I guess we're all just waiting to see if you can buy the shoes at this pop-up today, which is November the 9th, but obviously it's early morning, so we're not entirely sure just yet. Really cool pop-up, a ton of really cool stuff to see. Obviously the lines are crazy. Now the general narrative is still that there's about 40 to 50,000 pairs of these things, so insanely limited. And there's still all of the backdoor rumors, and there's even one rumor that these things retail for $200. So we got a screenshot post from a user on Reddit who said that the fragments are $200. Now I'm not entirely sure how he got, or this person got this screenshot, but they were able to get to the checkout page, or at least their basket, and cart the item, and it shows here $200 retail. Now the only thing that makes me think this is slightly believable is because this seems pretty similar to the last Fragment Jordan 1 High release, where that basically did this thing where it showed up as coming soon and then just showed up as sold out. Now again, a Nike sneakers app release still hasn't been confirmed. Everybody's just kind of crossing their fingers, because if they miss out on the Travis Scott website, which I don't even think that the Travis Scott website is global. Like I'm pretty sure it's limited to just US residents. So they got the Tokyo release, they got the Travis Scott website release. I don't know if these things are going to hit the Nike sneakers app. It just looks like it's going to be an incredibly hyped up pair of shoes that is going to disappoint an incredibly large amount of people. Either way, as of right now, pretty much all you can do if you're trying to get these pair of shoes is just, I guess, wait. Like, it is literally just a waiting game. The time is random. Nobody knows when this raffle is going to go live, but it's worth just kind of randomly checking every now and then. I'll do my best to kind of let people know on Instagram, so you can always follow me over there and I'll just chuck it up on my story. Right, moving on to some other releases that are happening this month in November. First one, we got a little, I guess a kind of official look at everything that's dropping between Nike and Nocta, which is taking place on November the 14th. So there's a bunch of stuff if you're interested. Some things are slightly different to the regular stuff, but we got a bunch of puffer jackets. We got this brown one, which looks pretty decent. This green or Tiffany color, for lack of a better definition, actually looks decent. You got hoodies in the same color. Similar thing with the brown. You've got a fleece hoodie, which actually looks real cozy. Some track jackets. A lot of this stuff is actually looking pretty decent. I can see a lot of people really liking it. Either way, if you're interested in any of this stuff should go live on the Nike app, and that is November the 14th. Or a day earlier if you're interested on Nocta's website, November the 13th. November 15th, we might be getting the cleanest colorway, certainly the most wearable colorway of the AE2. These things over here. So this is called the Core Black pair. I'm definitely going for these things. This is so clean. Even though I really like the pink colorway, these things are just so much more wearable. Definitely one of the best basketball sneakers to drop this year. And I think, you know, once you try it, you'll figure out that you like these things pretty quickly. They're so easy to style, comfy, and just look cool. We just got some images of the Delta Force 1s. Remember we spoke about this story a while ago because it was all like made to order stuff, so people are finally getting their Delta collaboration shoes in hand, and here's some pictures of these things. So you got the little Delta logo on the back. This is pretty cool. This was like the special edition pair that they did for Delta's 100-year anniversary, and I mean the leather looks like it's a little bit of an upgrade. You know, they sometimes do special edition Forces where they upgrade it to tumbled leather instead of the plasticky stuff you get on the regular ones. Interestingly, it comes in a Nike by You box, which is pretty strange. It definitely makes this feel like I guess less of a big deal, because it kind of feels like, you know, Nike almost half did this collaboration. They're like, yeah, let's make it a collaboration, but you know, we're not gonna make it too special. We're not giving you a custom box or anything like that. Now, this pair of shoes was made for Delta employees only, so you actually had to be a Delta employee to buy these things, but I thought this was pretty interesting. You get this card in here saying that they're subject to Nike's standard terms of sale and are restricted from resale. So technically every Nike shoe is restricted from resale, which doesn't make any sense. It's just interesting to see this card included with this pair of shoes. Either way, let me know if you're a Delta employee and got your hands on these things. We just got confirmed that the Joe Freshgoods New Balance 2010 is going to be dropping in November, specifically on the 14th. So that is this colorway right over here. I don't know if the black pair is going to be like a Joe Freshgoods exclusive on his website or something like that, but these are retailer images from an EU retailer, BSTN. They have them listed for a drop November 14th for 189 euros, approximately 220, so pretty expensive actually. That's pretty crazy. That's a huge jump in price from the like regular pair of these things, like the non-collab pair. Pretty sure those are like 150 bucks, but yeah, wow, that's a big price hike. Either way, November 14th, if you're after these things, they are clear. And then last one up for confirmed November releases, of course, the Black Cat Force, which is it's very interesting. So I dropped my review on this pair of shoes yesterday, and I highlighted one of the weirdest problems that I encountered with this shoe, and that is the fact that they squeak. Now, I do suggest checking out the full review, but I will play this little segment. Like, even just touching them, like, you can really hear that noise. They squeak, and when I posted the review, obviously I highlighted that because squeaky shoes is something that people have a massive problem with. So much so that On is currently getting sued by customers because of squeaky shoes. So could this lead to a Nike lawsuit? I'm not entirely sure, but this is something that I thought was very interesting. Now, I bought my pair off of Goat, spent a lot of money, ridiculous amount of money on these things. So yeah, I don't know. If you have a huge issue with squeaky shoes, maybe there's a way that you could solve this issue by sanding down some of the plastic shiny eye stays, because it seems like this noise is being caused because of the plastic eye stays rubbing against whatever nubuck material they used on the Black Cat Force. If you want more detail on all of this, go and check out the full review and let me know if you guys get your pairs in and if it has the same problem. Be very interested to read those comments. Right, some other releases that should be right around the corner, literally the end of this month or December time. First one is yet another Nike and Nigo collaboration. We've got two new colorways, which this time definitely look a little bit more interesting. Well, I guess all of them have been pretty crazy, but these two are actually two-tone colors, so you're getting like a little half and half action. So we got like a tan and white pair, and then a somewhat black and white pair. I don't know, it's very hard to kind of go over the colors on this, or even the materials. It looks wild. But I'm a huge fan of the Nigo Air Force 3. I think it's a really cool model, and I've actually really loved pretty much every single one that he's done, because it's just been so interesting and so unique. I don't mind these things at all, except for the fact that they've done this whole toe box thing. So it will literally, like when you're wearing pants, it will literally look like you're wearing two different shoes on each foot. Either way, these are the official images. So these should be dropping very, very soon. I imagine towards the end of this month or potentially early December. The only release date that we have right now is holiday 2025. But yeah, let me know what you think about these down in the comments. Another holiday 2025 release that is, again, no specific drop date for, it is the Nike GT Future, looking real cool, man. I cannot wait to get my hands on them. $200 retail price. This is the metallic pair that is completely reflective. So when you hit these things with a flash, not only will you see that insanely futuristic design, but they'll also be completely reflective, which is a really cool look. So these are some of the up-close images of these things, looking real sculpted and nice. Yeah, just wanted to show you this and just kind of remind you that these things are still dropping very, very soon, but I imagine it's going to be a December release for these, and I think they're going to be insanely limited as well. Damn, this one, I don't know what I was expecting, but I guess we were all kind of expecting this. The Amamenya Air Jordan 4 Dark Mocha. We've got a release date and first looks. We saw all of the leaked speculative mock-ups, but I don't know, I thought they'd maybe throw something a little bit different on there just to separate these things a little bit from not only the past Jordan 4 Amamenyas that they did, but also the cave stones. It basically looks like a little combination of those two shoes. It looks to be pretty much identical to the previous 4s that they did, not the lighter color ones like the first 4s that they did with that maroon color. So it looks like it's going to have the same, like, you know, raw edge material, the quilted sock liner. You've got a lot of that Amamenya color in there. It looks like on the eye stays, somewhat on the midsole and stuff like that. But for the most part, they are brown and black, just like the Dark Mochas. So these were the speculative mock-ups. So I guess a little less black than we were anticipating. Like these have, you know, a white midsole and some other colors on here, but very, very close. December 12th for these, and it's going to be very interesting to see how these go. I think most people are kind of anticipating these to sit on shelves or potentially even go to outlets. The last Amamenya collaboration I found in outlets discounted pretty steeply. They were like $160 or something. So will that happen to these? Most likely, but I guess it depends on stock, how limited they are. But I don't know, is anybody excited for this because we have the cave stone and all of the other Amamenya 4s? Are you excited for these, or is this a pass? Couple 2026 releases. Just want to show you some of these extra images that we just got of the Jordan 6 reverse infrared samples, because that's the whole theme with this pair of shoes. It's going to be a sample theme, if that makes sense. So like, this is a retail pair, but obviously it comes with all of the sample stuff, like the sample tags. You've got the sample stamp on the inner sock liner. So this is literally how it's going to come at, you know, retail, which is very, very cool. I think it's a very cool little way to do a reimagined release. Either way, these are the best images that we have seen of these things in full detail, so you could check out whether you like them or not. A lot of people are anticipating this one, and I also think that a lot of people like this idea of making these things like sample, you know, the whole sample theme with this reimagining. I think is a good move. Regardless, let me know what you think about these things down in the comment section. Are you going to be going for them next year? Should be an early, you know, 2026 drop, I think in January, maybe February for All-Star Weekend, something like that. But yeah, we got time on that one, so I'll update you guys when we get more information. And we just got a little update of those Virgil Abloh football boots that he was working on. These are now going to be dropping summer 2026. So this was something that was showcased at the Virgil Abloh Archives event that they had going on in September, and a lot of people were looking at these things like, man, you know, Virgil was way ahead of his time, because this is all like a massive trend right now. It's like football boots or football styled shoes that you could walk around casually in, and now we could see like a little off-white version of that, which is going to be dropping. And I think Nike is going to be making this model like a full GR as well. So yes, this is the off-white version, but the cryo shot is the model, and there's plenty coming in 2026. Either way, that's the main update. No other images or anything like that, but let me know if you're rocking the Nike football boots casually. Right, now before jumping into the Yeezy story, I thought this was pretty interesting, but Steven Smith, the previous Yeezy designer, just called out Nike for, I guess, copying his design. I mean, that's a little bit misleading because Nike does own this design. This was just one thing that, you know, Steven Smith designed when he was with Nike. Nike released their Acadin pack, which is all of these running shoes inspired by one of Steven Smith's model that he worked on in the 2000s with Nike, which is this one over here, the Air Katana. So these are all of the different shoes that Nike has unveiled that are inspired by this design, which you can see very, very clearly. I mean, this is a pretty sick model. I don't know if I've ever seen these things before. But yes, Steven Smith took to Instagram and he posted this with the caption, "Fresh out of ideas, question mark, lazy, riding the wave." And that obviously got the industry saying, oh snap, and then yeah, looking at all of this. So I don't know if this is, you know, as crazy as they're making it out to be, but I thought I'd mention it before we hop into the Yeezy story. So one of the biggest updates in the whole Yeezy story is that everybody is saying Yeezy is back, mainly because of this video that was posted where Ye sat down with a Jewish rabbi and apologized for everything he did and said during that whole phase where he was talking, you know, he said I don't need to go over it. You guys know what happened. It was very public. There's a full video of them just talking and him basically just apologizing for everything, showing remorse. So the rabbi said, a person is not defined by his mistakes, but by the way he chooses to correct them. This is the true strength of man, the ability to return to learn and to build bridges of love and peace. So it kind of seems like apology accepted. Now, importantly, in Ye's apology, he says that, you know, he really highlights the fact that a lot of what went down seemed to be because of his bipolar disorder. At least that's what he kind of says. Now, obviously, people are going to agree with this, disagree with this, say that, you know, we should forgive Ye. Other people are saying we shouldn't. That's a whole conversation. But what a lot of people are speculating is the whole like Yeezy's redemption arc, and basically the fact that this whole apology thing was mainly to kind of bring himself back into the spotlight and not be so kind of like on the outskirts where everybody just kind of dismissed him. You know, he's got this new website where he's selling a ridiculous amount of clothes, all from $20 to $100. A lot of people are saying like this was all part of the plan. You know, he did and said all of those horrendous things in order to cut himself off from every single brand, and now he's back doing his own independent thing. And it looks like with the amount of stuff on here, like an entire, you know, we've got leather jackets, we've got Parker jackets, we've got an entire women's line, we've got footwear, Yeezy slides that are identical to the Adidas Yeezy ones that they released and cost $250, sunglasses, accessories like belts and bags and gloves. And he also just had a big appearance with Travis Scott. This was just in Tokyo. This was live from Tokyo. Travis Scott brought him out on stage. They performed a bunch of songs together, and this has got a lot of people saying Yeezy is back. Yeezy season is now. And I guess sticking with highlighting the products, he came out wearing obviously a mask, but he came out wearing this jacket, which is actually, you know, the jacket that he makes. So he's really promoting his products. Like, this is the jacket that he wore on stage. You could see it's got the exact same, you know, design and everything. He's got the model shots, and then obviously it's got the fur, you know, neck, you know, hooded, the fur hood. And that's what you could see in this image over here. It also looks like there's new Yeezy shoes that are upcoming. So yeah, this is all just part of the Yeezy is back narrative. I don't know what to think about all of this, but it certainly seems like the whole website thing is popping off. Can he regain that Yeezy status that he had before, and how, you know, super popular this brand was when he was attached to Adidas, Balenciaga, and The Gap? Can he do that all independently once again? We'll have to wait and see, but I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments. And final story, I just want to go over a couple updates. First one is, you guys know that Sneaky HQ is going live today. So I'm thinking this video is going to go live before the website goes live. So hopefully you guys managed to grab some cool deals. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out last week's video where I go over all of the stuff that I'm doing with Sneaky HQ. If you are someone who buys anything from this website, first of all, thank you. Second of all, let me know what you got. And I think on Wednesday, we're going to recap all of the insane steals that people are going to get, because I feel like I'm going to lose so much freaking money on this, and we'll see. But we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it's a weekly thing. Recap on Sneaky HQ will be on Wednesday. And then another little thing I wanted to bring up to you guys. So normally at the end of every Sunday video, we do sneaky ratings, which is basically where I put up a story on Instagram and I rate what you guys have on feed. Now, I wanted to do something a little bit different, so we're not doing that this week, but I will take recommendations from you guys down in the comment section. Should we keep it going as it was? Should we do like rating outfits, rating sneaker collections? We can really do anything, but I am kind of keen on keeping this little segment alive every Sunday. Could be fun, but let me know what you think we should do next week. I didn't want to do it this time because I felt like it was just getting a little bit repetitive, but if you guys enjoy it, let me know what we should do next week, and enjoy Sneaky HQ. Hopefully you picked up some banger deals. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we do this every single Sunday, and of course, like always, I'm gonna chuck another video in the top left-hand corner. Check it out.